Hey everybody, you're listening to So Many Sequels, your book club for movies. I'm Josh.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm David.
It's the end of the year, man. Dudes, fellas,
Oh, yeah.
guys, and listeners outside.
We
It's
enjoy.
We've got our final Christmas episode of the month of So Many Santas coming up this week. We're going to be talking about 1947's Miracle on 34th Street. So be sure you subscribe to SoManySequels.com or on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you get podcasts.
Wherever your podcasts are free.
That would be great. But this episode, we're just going to talk about what we've been watching this week. We've been catching up on a bunch of stuff. Holidays, time off work, all the good times that come with this time of year. Garrett, I don't know if you've actually been able to pay attention to what you've been watching, and based on the stories you've told us over the past week. It might have been a fever dream.
I was apparently on the naughty list, and Santa gave me some kind of stomach virus for Christmas, and so I've been dealing with it. But so most of the stuff that I was watching was basically just like, listen, people sleep. We've been talking about streaming services all year, and we'll continue. Peacock, underrated, because they have just enough good stuff. They have a lot of good shows, right? Obviously, and they have their channels feature is underappreciated because you can just go to the SNL channel and it's basically just a shuffle of SNL from the 1970s to now, and that's crazy. It's just there. I don't watch that though. I watched the murder stuff. I watched just all of the murder shows, and so they had this one where it was like murder holiday for the or home for the homicide or something like that. And
That's fantastic.
I don't know. People died. They figured out who did it. It was a relative. People don't murder people on your holidays, please.
Wow.
Just don't.
I did not watch any of that. I watched some what was it? The holiday season of Is It Cake on Netflix.
Ooh.
That's
Yes, Mikey Days.
Mikey Day. Kids love that. It's easy to throw on, and it is usually cake. So,
is it usually cake?
It is usually cake. Sometimes
when
it's not.
Is it when it's not? Is it just the actual object?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
You have to eat the object.
The baker wins in that case because you want to fool them. You want to make them guess the thing that's not cake.
Mm-hmm. Understood.
So yeah. Anyway, I did some of that. But let's talk about what we've been watching. It looks like we've got a good list here of some new movies in theaters, some new movies to streaming, and even a book recommendation in here, which we love to see. David, you got the best of both worlds here with a streaming release and a new... I'm assuming this is the new theatrical version of Anaconda that you saw.
Yes.
What'd you think of these? I'm excited to hear what you thought about One Battle.
Well, yeah, one battle after another. I had heard a lot of good things about this movie over the course of the year. A lot of people saying it was like a top movie of the year contender for them. And so got to finally sit down and watch it. Got to finally sit down and watch it uninterrupted because my son is away for the day. So I was able to sit here and not, have any real interruptions, focus on the movie. And I gotta say that I was not personally like super into it.
Oh my god!
I do think it was like a really well made movie. I do think it had moments that were interesting. I just never really grabbed on any of the characters personally, so it's just kind of like a solid movie. It's not my movie of the year, but it is but it is like it's a good movie. It's a 4-star movie. Is it going to be my number one movie of the year? No. And that's just as simple as it is. I just never really grasped on to anybody, if that makes sense. I think that some of the performances, specifically Sean Penn, was really good. That was the one that really stood out the most to me amongst the characters. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of it on that. Good movie, but I don't anticipate it, being my movie of the year. But
it's your turn to watch it.
But yeah, I haven't seen it yet. But David, I'm curious because so Josh, I know how you feel about it. For the most part, you really liked it a lot.
I did. I agree with the
David. This
general
feels
public.
like without me having. I'm sorry. What'd you say, Josh?
I said I agree with the general public.
Okay. Without seeing it, I assumed this would probably hit your cool guys, cool crime genre.
I agree. I thought it was
Never.
written for
There were
David.
no cool guys, nor were there cool crimes.
There were all of the above.
There was-
Interesting.
who
I
was
would
cool?
argue that the whole
Who
movie
was
is
the
a cool
coolest guy?
crime.
No.
It's always Leo.
No,
Really?
it
These
was-
people leading
freedom
revolutionaries and fighting for freedom isn't cool crime?
Those aren't cool crimes.
I think it's the definition of a cool. I think the coolest
Stealing
crime
and
you could
hustling,
commit
those
is
are cool crimes.
No, fighting for freedom is a cool crime.
No, that's a righteous crime. That's a good crime. That's what that's
good
trouble.
that's fighting for freedom. That's a different movie
record
genre
time-
entirely.
In record time, we've got David arguing semantics. What
No,
the definition
it's my
of
genre.
words
I
are.
get to define it. And for the second part
Dude,
of
it's
it,
not cool,
Leonardo
it's righteous.
DiCaprio's not cool. He's a pot smoking bum. That's the opposite of
That's
cool.
pretty cool. A lot of people aspire to that.
He is not cool, but Chase Infinity's character is cool. Regina Hall is cool.
Oh, Chase
Benicio del
Infinity.
Toro was cool.
Now,
quite
Benicio
a
del
few cool
Toro,
characters
if we
in
had
that
more,
movie.
if we had had a little more Benicio or something, then maybe I get with you. Look, I'm not trying to insult the movie. It's a fine movie. I'm just saying that like it never grabbed me in terms of like some of the interesting parts of the story. I kind of feel like they gave me too soon or something like that. Like there wasn't much mystery about it. It was just very, unfocused in that regard. It was like straight through. I don't even know how to describe. Like I'm coming off of like just watching it. I'm like 5 minutes after watching this movie at this point.
Yeah.
Like it's a fine movie. It's just not going to be my number one. I don't know why that's silly. And by no means is it a cool guy's doing cool crimes. But yeah. So
Garrett, I'm certain that you're going to think it is, so.
I'm intrigued.
Whether you like it
On
or
my
not,
list.
I don't know, but you will think it's cool guys doing cool
It's on my
crimes.
list for sure.
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited to see it. I wanted to watch it last week, but when I was, getting sick every few minutes, it was difficult to focus. So
Yeah.
I feel like this one, especially for 2 hours plus, I want to make sure that I'm giving it. David, you also have the new Anaconda on here, which I'm very intrigued by. Or I assume it's the new Anaconda. Yeah.
yeah, the new Anaconda with Jack Black, Paul Rudd, Steve Zahn, and
Yes. Somebody coined the Renaissance lately, and I wanted to put that out there because it was excellent, and I wanted
look,
to
and
give
he's low key. I think my favorite part of the movie. I don't know if he's going to get as much praise as other people, and I've seen a lot of people haven't been feeling it. Like I've seen a lot of people haven't been loving this one as much. But it was funny. I enjoyed myself for the most part. It definitely, in more than one ways, gives off kind of Tropic Thunder vibes. Obviously, there's the jungle aspect and there's the Jack Black of it all, and it's the idea like these guys are trying to make a movie and all that. But there was something, I don't know. It felt like there was a little something missing. It felt like it was, I don't know. It like I'm not like somebody who's like, oh, I love the first Anaconda or anything like that. The first Anaconda is kind of a hot mess. But
You can't
like
expect a great movie.
it was like a 90s creature feature hot mess, so it
took itself very seriously.
it's fun. And this one they're trying to make comedy out of it, and so sometimes the comedy really works, sometimes it works a little less. It kind of depends on your appreciation level for Jack Black or Paul Rudd. So your mileage may vary on that, but
Very high.
But I for the most part found it to be pretty funny. But it did feel like, and I can't put my finger on it exactly. It did feel like a little something was missing. Maybe that was just maybe they just needed another like a fourth big person to be in it. I don't know.
Interesting. Maybe it didn't. I will probably make it to this eventually, but it's not high on my list. It feels like a Prime original movie.
Yeah.
Specifically Prime, which I don't know. There's some Prime comedies that are good. It's not necessarily a bad label, but it doesn't feel like I need to rush to the theater for this particular movie. But
Feels
we'll see.
like
Maybe we'll get there.
if you're a big fan of Anaconda and like maybe get some of the references and
Yeah.
like it was a really big part of your upcoming as a child or something like that, that probably feels like it'd strike you. But like I didn't watch that movie a ton and I enjoy it, but like I don't really care
I will
enough to go see
say it is like in my opinion, it's less of a like homage to the original Anaconda. It is more so a commentary on a group of friends who are older and like they want to like reconnect
It's
for something.
us. Is it about us? It's us.
Yeah.
This play's about us.
This fucking play is about
and-
Well,
us.
I mean, guys, I had this pitch anyway, so I figured we could do like arachnophobia, but the anaconda
We
version.
could remake of Arachnophobia.
We could do that
I'm
for
in-
sure.
I'm into that.
So
Wow. Okay. Well, I got up on Frankenstein finally, the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein. Watched that on Netflix on Christmas. Felt like a good Christmas movie. It's
Especially
very
for
cold
this
and
year.
snowy.
Dark and gloomy and beautiful at the same time.
There you go. And twisted and inhumane.
Yeah.
No, it was really good. I'm not a huge like Frankenstein head. Not a I read the book in high school. That's kind of my extent of it, of knowing at least the like original Mary Shelley story that Guillermo del Toro is attempting to capture here. And from what I understand and from what I've heard, it does a pretty good job of that. Not perfect. It still strays from the source material in some significant ways, but I thought it was a cool world that Del Toro created. It felt real in that like way that I felt. It's like how I don't mean for this to sound offensive, but someone may take it that way. It reminds me of how like Tim Burton used to be really good at creating worlds that were like fantastical but felt real, and Guillermo del Toro is also really good at that. But he's obviously way better in so many ways.
Sure.
But that's what I mean. It's like this cool gothic world that feels real, even though it's obviously not. That's what I liked about it, and the performances were cool. I don't know. Jacob Elordi is fine in general to me. I don't think about him often, but I thought.
Is it
he did
because
fine.
you can't not see him out of his Euphoria role?
A little bit. That's part of it, but I mean, he doesn't look like himself in this movie, so
Yeah.
I don't think that's really part of it for this. I don't know. It's just hard to connect with the monster sometimes for me, on film.
Yeah.
But it was still good. I thought it was a good movie.
David,
Yeah.
you saw this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's like the craftsmanship of a Del Toro is next level. Like you're gonna get incredible sets, incredible scenery. You're gonna get great makeup effects and things like that. And even what little bit of VFX and computer generated stuff that he does take advantage of, it's all in service to the overall vision. It's not like just to be a big set piece or anything like that, or to do some kind of crazy shortcut. It's like he'll take the practical as far as it can literally go before taking advantage. And I think that's I think it's a smart way to go. These types of things, and I agree with Josh. I think that like Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi both do really solid jobs with their parts, and I think that it's while it may not be a definitive adaptation page for page or anything like that, I think that Del Toro clearly like really loved this project and did what he could,
That's
or
the
did
thing,
put his
is
spin on it.
I know it's a real passion project for him that he's carried for a long time. So I think it was originally at Universal at some point, and then it ended up here at his Netflix deal. So I liked it.
I
And then-
definitely think that is one of those ones that's worth checking out this year. If you're trying to complete movies from this year, it's definitely one of the ones to try and see.
You want to know what my biggest issue with it, and the reason that I end up not seeing a lot of these movies?
Guillermo
It's
the
'cause
Toro
it's,
movies, or
I want to know the movies that are on like this on streaming is I want to see it in a theater. I want to see this world
and
on a big A screen and be enamored and encumbered with it. I don't want Johnny Jack dropping off my DoorDash to be able to ring the doorbell and jack up the movie. Like, I don't want that.
yeah, no, I hear you. It's
I will say, unlike Wake Up Dead Man, Frankenstein got a little bit of a better theatrical run
It did.
back in November. I remember seeing it played here at our local AMC even. But I agree, it wasn't there long enough. I heard some people say, hey, I wanted to see it, but it was there like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah. Not long enough.
So, yeah, I agree. I wish it was something I saw on the big screen after seeing it on Netflix. But
My hot take: people want to see these movies in the theater, but they want it not to be 2 weeks. We live in a culture where, like,
I have heard
you
that.
can't see it within 2 weeks because it will be spoiled because everybody else goes so far as just assume that they've seen it.
yeah.
But by the time they take it out, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess okay.
I mean, you got to
They
give us
need
a
to-
little bit of time.
yeah, they
You
need
got to.
to
I
go
mean,
back
like
to it.
I
slightly longer window.
like I know that like having studied box office stuff for about however long we've been doing this show for now. Um, most movies make about 95% of what they're going to make in the first like 35 days. But that doesn't mean that like, week 5 and week 6 and week 7 aren't, people who want to see the movie on the big screen but just couldn't get there the first
Right.
few weekends. Like, so obviously we've gone back and forth with this over the time.
It's a big year for attendance, or a big time of year for attendance. Holidays are.
Mhm.
So leave them in a little longer this time of year, especially. I think if Frankenstein were still playing over Christmas, could have helped. But
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, I also know that they had to give half the screens to Avatar and all, and split it up between that and Zootopia and all these other big movies that are getting like people are going to see those movies. So
They are.
I can't blame them because Frankenstein is not pulling. Frankenstein was not filling the theater like Avatar and Zootopia does. It's just
For sure.
not real. But can it have one screen and you just replay it over and over all day?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like it can just be like in the theater.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
get like 2 or 3 showings from time to time.
Oh yeah, one of the shows that you play like in one screen, one time at night, 9 p.m. show. I
Yeah.
don't know. Just something for us freaks. Anyway, my last movie that I caught up on is a new theatrical movie. I went with the fam to see the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants.
Ah!
Which, yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure is the first SpongeBob movie I've seen. I've
Really?
seen a lot of SpongeBob TV, obviously.
Sure.
Never really saw a SpongeBob movie.
You never saw the SpongeBob movie back in 2005?
I don't think I did. I don't really remember seeing, because I was 14, 15 years old then. I'm not still watching SpongeBob. I didn't come back around to SpongeBob until like 30, and then I realized it was funny again.
I didn't know it was still on. It was one of those where it was like, what?
Yeah,
I stopped after I thought I was cool for it.
It's funny though. I mean, SpongeBob is like basically he gets sucked into an adventure with the Flying Dutchman who has tricked him and is gonna try to put a curse on SpongeBob, me boy. But Squidward and Mr. Krabs have to go help him.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Everybody loved it. Kids of all ages.
They were excited.
Everybody
to see
loved it. There was a part where oh my gosh, SpongeBob is about to fall for the big trap, and my nephew, he's 10. He next to me, he goes, "SpongeBob, no!" In the movie, I was like, "Oh my god, he's into it."
That's awesome.
He's been engrossed. He's been pulled in.
At the end, he was like, "That was awesome." SpongeBob's so
Yeah.
dumb.
5 stars. 5 sponges.
So yeah, the SpongeBob movie, it's doing its job. And I gotta read. I don't want to provide much more context than this. This is the most popular review on Letterboxd for this one. I genuinely don't understand how these people got away with putting so much ass on my screen, and that is true. There's a lot of ass on
It's because it's cartoon.
Yeah,
It's cartoon.
but detailed ass.
Yeah.
A lot of ass in this SpongeBob movie. Anyway.
That's amazing.
And then that does it for me. Garrett, you got a new movie in theaters here. What do you got?
I did, yeah. I finally got to go to the theater and I got to enjoy Five Nights at Freddy's 2. It was good, y'all. I liked it. Have either one of you seen the first one?
So I have seen the first Five Nights at Freddy's.
I actually did not, so...
David, what did you think of the first Five Nights at Freddy's?
Well, not being like a big...
I can't imagine it's your favorite, but
No.
I bet you thought it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the games. I've never really played them. I knew of them, and I vaguely know of the lore. Even my son knows of the lore. Like, there's just that stuff seeps into a lot of
All the
internet
kids know
culture. And I get the appeal of the games. That said, the movie kind of surprised me because of how... I feel like how quickly it got to the point that it took them like 5 games to, you know what I mean? I know that it took there were like 4 or 5 of these Five Nights at Freddy's games, and like each game kind of layered in more and more depth to what was supposedly going on, and they went like right to that in the first movie. So I was like, oh, I'm surprised they didn't, keep these characters scary for longer. But it's just it is what it is. But anyway, I thought it was fine. I it wasn't like again, the scariest horror movie I've ever seen, but also had some decent character.
Right. And for me, that's not where it's supposed to live. It's supposed to live in that silly, scary, fun, scary. Like it's got moments where it's got legitimate scares, but it's fun and it leans into it and it knows the lore really well. I have no idea. My recollection initially was like, I knew the game was like a jump scare game back when I was younger, and then I had no idea that it had layered so much into it. So I'm learning more of it because I'm intrigued by how much it has grown into what I thought it was. But this one, it had a new villain, the Marionette, which I was really actually very scary. I thought that was a really intriguing part of that lore and how they worked it in there. And then, guys, so Matthew Lillard is the main kind of antagonist in this. Skeet Ulrich makes a little appearance in this one. They got a Scream Union going, and it was really funny. And it was subtle. It wasn't like he plays a significant part. I think that it's gonna be. I think it's gonna lead to. It's definitely leading to a third one. So I'm invested in the Freddy's trilogy and where they're gonna go with it. So it was a lot of fun. I would recommend it. I think it just dropped on Peacock as well, so you can watch it there with the first one.
Maybe I will do that. Maybe I'll
You
watch
should.
it on Peacock and see, because I didn't
It's
know.
fun.
You had your idea for Freddy's February or something like that you wanted to do.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
many Freddy's or something like that.
Yeah,
You wanted
Freddy
to do
got
like the
fingered
Five Nights at
February.
Freddy's and some other Freddy-based movies.
There's a lot of movies that are based on someone named Fred or Freddy that are separate from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch that. I don't think I knew Matthew Lillard was in those movies.
Yes. And Josh Hutcherson is in them. Like it's got a good cast. It genuinely is really fun.
Okay.
3 stars for me. Like, some of these movies have a certain star limit based on what I have my rating scale, but that's like the top of what that can be. You could talk me into like a 3.25 because I liked it a lot.
Okay. Then you got a book on here.
Yeah, so I've been rereading. Sometimes it's tough to get started in something new, so you revisit some older stuff. And Dean Koontz is one of my favorite authors when I was a kid, and so I had read Velocity earlier. I think I gave a review of that,
You did,
and
yeah.
then Odd Thomas is his character that I feel like most people may have heard of. I believe they turned it into a movie. It's like an indie movie with Willem Dafoe involved. Think of it as
And
like
Anton Yelchin was
he
Odd
was.
Thomas,
He was
R.I.P.
live.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. I forgot about that. That
Did
was
they make
one
a
of the
movie
ones.
out of this?
They did. So the general premise is think The Sixth Sense, but not as scary, and not as dark and sad. But he is able to see spirits and ghosts, and a lot of times they use him to help solve crimes or bigger things or stop something bad that's going to happen. And so in the first one, you get to know him a lot and how this kind of came to be. Elvis hangs around for some reason. That's one of his ghost partners that he's got. Elvis
Yes.
Presley, yes. And, it leads up into him stopping a mass shooting, which this was written in like early 2000s. And so that was very early in this kind of dynamic. So listening to it here, it was just really interesting to go back and revisit and understand some more of the history and where we are versus where we were then. It's really good. I quite enjoyed it. It's like a 5 or 6 book series. I read the second one, and the second one was not as good as I remembered. Y'all, I read at least the first 4, and so we'll see. But it wasn't as good enough for me to be like, do I want to keep going? So we'll see.
I should go back. I read that book when I was a kid.
I really liked it.
Yeah, it came out. Yeah. I feel like I
The
was
writing
12,
itself
13.
not as strong as Dean Koontz is always compared to Stephen King as far as like what they write, which is not fair to Dean Koontz. But he was always one of my favorite authors, and he does do a good job of building a character. But says the unpublished author of nothing. I think that I've read stronger writing, so
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
but it's an easy reason.
There you go. And yes, it's a 2013 movie as well.
Oh yeah,
Starring Anton Yelchin and Willem Dafoe. You were right. He plays the police chief.
I see. I haven't seen the movie. I have it, but I want that's one that I'll put on my list of watches.
Perfect. All right. Well, let's. David, why don't you hit us with the box office for? I think this is the Christmas weekend box office. Is it?
Yeah, this is the final weekend of 2025 in terms of the box office.
May it rest in piss.
And hey, for anybody who is interested in how this year went in as a whole, I'll talk a little bit about that in our 2025 recap episode. Whenever that drops, we'll give a little bit of perspective on how the movie theaters industry did. We'll talk about that and a lot of other things. But looking at this last weekend, Avatar: Fire and Ash leads the last weekend of the year with $64 million in its second week of release.
You guys gonna go see it?
I have not seen it. I mean, I don't really intend to.
I will, because I just feel like a completionist and I have a list, so why not? But I truly have and I still, 2009 to now,
2009?
have no pull into these movies.
And for me, I've been foolishly saving these movies in case we ever did them as a series for the show. But like, I wanted to see Avatar when it was coming out, the first one, and I never got the opportunity, and then I missed it, and then it never came up again, and then Avatar all of a sudden went out of nowhere. Here comes Avatar 2, and I was like, who, what, when, okay. I was like, clearly people asked for it, because the first one made like $1 billion or $2 billion, but like, why is it 10 years later? Anyhow.
Technology.
That's the
technology. Anyway.
And will this one follow its predecessors and become the
I
highest-grossing
think
movie of all time?
I think the marketing is not there for it, and I think that it has. These things breathe on longevity, and I think that it will have that. But I just don't think it's going to pull it.
Well, here's what if you want a quick thing on that, I can say that this one is not going as well so far as the second one, but it is outpacing the first by quite a bit. So it will. I think it's going to finish in between those first two and still be quite a large movie, probably still the $1 billion movie worldwide, but it might not be. The first one, I mean, they've done
the international numbers usually are bigger too. The international numbers for these are usually massive.
This movie's carried a lot by international numbers. This is one of those franchises carried a lot there. It does well here in the U.S., but not nearly as well as it does overseas. I mean, you can dub it into other languages, and a lot of it works. Anyhow, number two movie of the year, or not of the year, number two movie of the weekend is Zootopia 2, bouncing back up from number 5 into the number 2 spot with another 20 mil. Obviously, family weekend, that's a good opportunity to go see that. And then Marty Supreme has one of the best openings for an A24, maybe the best opening for an A24 film ever, bringing 17.5 in its wide release. It's up. It's in about 2,000 more theaters than it was last week.
That's the crazy thing.
Well.
I put that in our Discord that you can join, SoManySequels.com, was that when this movie came out, it only came out in 6 theaters. Mm-hmm. And that was enough to place 9th on the top 10 box office. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whoa!
And so
that's how much money it pulled in those. Yeah. So
created some good buzz. It's got Timothée Chalamet. This is about. Up against Avatar and Zootopia 2. Which are obviously big, those are reaching out to the whole family. Those are PG and PG-13 movies. I think Marty Supreme is R-rated. I could be wrong on that, but
I think it is, yeah.
Pretty solid. Then you have The Housemaid, bringing in 15.4, and the debuting Anaconda rounds out the top 5 with 14.5. Probably had slightly higher hopes for that, I'm sure, but I don't think they anticipated that to be like a, $100 million movie or anything like that. So there you go. There's your top 5 for this week, and I'll leave it at that.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah, I'll leave it at that. I tell you kind of what's coming out next weekend, but we'll talk about that later.
Forget about it. Yeah. All right. Well, that'll do it for us. This is going to lead into our last episode of So Many Santas. We'll be ending the Christmas season with Miracle on 34th Street. This is coming out. It'll come out a few days after Christmas, but this feels like a good movie for that. It's kind of it's not so much, and we'll talk about this more. Is it so much a Christmas movie or is it a Santa movie? Is that even a thing? I don't know. We'll discuss it. It's a courtroom drama. What do you know?
Talk about semantics.
We'll talk about semantics, exactly. So we'll see. Go check us out online, SoManySequels.com. You can subscribe wherever you get podcasts, on YouTube, Spotify, and we'll see you guys later.